Hey guys, so in today's video, I'll be exposing RC SPROUL. So RC SPROUL, he was a false prophet, Calvinist, unsaved bastard who's burning in hell. And the reason why I'm exposing him is because he preaches a false gospel. He preaches that if you have any affection for Christ, it proves that you're saved. Now, having affection for Christ is a work, and works have nothing to do with salvation. 2 Peter chapter 2 verse 1. But there were false prophets also among the people, even as there shall be false teachers among you, who privily shall bring in damnable heresies, even denying the Lord that bought them, and bring upon themselves swift destruction. Now let's hear from this unregenerate devil, RC SPROUL.
If I can say, yes, I know that I don't love them the way I should love them, that I don't love them perfectly, but I know in whom I have believed, I know that I have some real affection for Christ in my heart and in my soul. Then if my theology is sound, then I ask the question, how could that possibly be? Because I know an unregenerate person has no affection for Jesus and can't possibly have any affection for Jesus. So if I have any affection for Jesus, that tells me I'm regenerate. And if I'm regenerate, I have true faith. And if I have true faith, I'm numbered among the elect and can have a full assurance.
So RC SPROUL said that the affection you have for Christ is the proof that you're regenerate, or in other words, the proof that you're saved. Now this is a false gospel because he's backloading works into the gospel. He's adding works to salvation, when the Bible clearly tells us that salvation is not of works, and that it's grace alone. Ephesians 2 verse 8 to 9. For by grace are ye saved through faith, and that not of yourselves. It is the gift of God, not of works, lest any man should boast. It says not of works, and having affection for Christ is a work. And that means having affection for Christ has nothing to do with salvation. That's what RC SPROUL should be preaching. But since he was an unsaved devil, he isn't preaching that. Instead, he's preaching a false satanic works-based gospel. And on top of backloading works into the gospel, he was also a stupid Calvinist. And what Calvinists believe in is garbage. I even made a video exposing Calvinism for the garbage that it is. So let RC SPROUL burn in hell, and all Calvinists will join RC SPROUL. Romans 11 verse 6. And if by grace, then it is no more of works. Otherwise, grace is no more grace. But if it be of works, then it is no more grace. Otherwise, work is no more work. So it's either grace or works. It can't be both. And salvation is of grace. So that means salvation can't be of works. So that means works aren't the proof that you're saved or the result of salvation. Romans 3 verse 24. Being justified freely by his grace through the redemption that is in Christ Jesus. It says freely by his grace. Let me ask you something. Does it say freely by his grace and our works? Or freely by our works? No, it says freely by his grace. So we're justified freely by God's grace, not anything we do. That's what RC SPROUL should be preaching. Or in past tense, should have preached. Romans 4 verse 5. But to him that worketh not, but believeth on him that justifieth the ungodly, his faith is counted for righteousness. So it says here that to the person that doesn't work and believes alone, puts their trust in Christ alone, they're the one who's gonna get saved. They're the one who's going to heaven. Salvation is of grace alone. That's what works trusters need to realize. And that it's by faith alone in Christ alone. We're saved by grace through faith alone in Christ alone. Galatians 1 verse 7, which is not another, but they be some that trouble you, and will pervert the gospel of Christ. So RC SPROUL, this unsaved works trusting devil, he was perverting the gospel of Christ. So that makes him a certified pervert. He's a stupid pervert, just like his Calvinist buddies who pervert the gospel, and he's burning in hell. And all his Calvinist buddies would join him in hell. Let RC Sproul burn in hell. Let him split hell wide open. Let him break hell into pieces. They probably had to make hell bigger just because of how fat he is. He's a fat, unsaved devil. Let him burn in hell. Matthew 23 verse 13. But woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for ye shut up the kingdom of heaven against men. For ye neither go in yourselves, neither suffer ye them that are entering to go in. So what RC Sproul is doing is he shuts up the kingdom of heaven against those who want to get saved, by telling them that they have to have affection for Christ in order to be saved. It's a false gospel. And he's not in heaven right now. He's in hell. He's burning in hell. He was an unsaved bastard. He was a devil. And John 3 verse 15 tells us how to truly be saved. That whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. So it's believing in Jesus Christ that saves you. Trusting him alone for your salvation that saves you. And RC Sproul didn't trust in Christ alone for his salvation. So that's why he's burning in hell right now. Galatians 1 verse 8 to 9. But though we or an angel from heaven preach any other gospel unto you than that he hath preached unto you, let him be accursed. As we said before, so I say now again, if any man preach any other gospel unto you than that ye have received, let him be accursed. So RC Sproul preached a different gospel. So let RC Sproul be accursed. Let RC Sproul burn in hell as the unsaved devil that he is.